Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And this is a quick, headline from ZeroHedge.com. And as you can see, it says consumers face summer of hell as power bill costs set to jump. All right. Consumers face summer of hell as power bill costs set to jump. All right, and it's a pretty short article, so I'm just gonna go through it. But as you can see, in the midst of them already warning about rolling blackouts and prices of things already going up. All right, with extreme heat and weather. Now they're talking about the price, the cost of your electricity bill that's going to be jumping up somewhere around 40% in certain areas. Okay, so that's going to be another. That's why it says summer of hell, as they're calling it a perfect storm. Now, before I get into this, I want to read this real quick here in the book of Ezekiel, chapter 7, verse 5. It says, "Thus saith the Lord God, Yahweh, an evil," which the word evil means a bad time. All right, hell is a bad time. "And only evil, behold, is come." So what's getting ready to happen? Bad times, horrible times. It says, "The end is come, the end is come. It watcheth for thee, behold, it is come." So that's why you're seeing a lot of these headlines like this. And like I said, whether they try to slow it down and pick it back, at the end of the day, guess what? Ezekiel 7 and 5 and 6, the evil is come and the end is come. So these are signs of what? Signs of the end. So now it says the last thing consumers want to hear is an increase in power costs this summer, following the news last week of rising threats of rolling blackouts across half of the U.S. All right. Now, as a matter of fact, let me click on this real quick. See what we get here. Build blackouts better. All right. So this is the article for that. Half of America faces power blackouts this summer. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this out. I'll leave both articles in the description box so you can get access to them. Now, it says tight supplies of natural gas, crude, and coal have pushed up residential electricity rates this year. And you wonder, why is it that so many things are piling on top of each other at once? And that's because they've been setting all of this up right underneath your noses. But people have been distracted with bread and circuses and whatever is the latest cover story out there in the media that you don't see, or you didn't see them doing this. It says a nationwide weather outlook for this summer forecasts extreme heat. So isn't that interesting how the summer that they're warning about the weakness of the power grid, now they're saying that that's the summer that there's going to be pretty much one of the highest demands of electricity because of this extreme heat. And don't let them throw in a cyber attack, because at that point, I mean, forget it. Just forget it. All right. It says here, all of this will force households to crank up their air conditions, resulting in oversized power demand that could stress national grids. National grids. So say one part goes down and something happens to it. It's just so bad. It just, it blows up, or it transfers to another part and does some major damage. Now, you gotta worry about, it's super hot, right? And you turn on your AC, and now not only are you putting stress on the power grid, but at the same time, that price that you would normally pay, you're gonna pay much higher this time. Okay. So it says Bloomberg cites new data from Barclays PLC, or place, or what that's supposed to be, that says monthly power bills could be 40% more than last year's monthly. The U.S. Energy Information Administration expects retail residential electricity rates to increase the most since 2008. And keep in mind that's it's important. It's actually good they mentioned that, because remember, it's not just shit. It's not just you where you're living, right? Or regular, civilians that use ACs and electricity. When you go into malls and stores, guess what? How their cooling systems is they're using much more electricity than you are with your little portable AC. All right. So and in the malls, people are going here, people are going here. I mean, shit. Movie theaters, buses, everywhere that really movie theaters and buildings and stuff, but everywhere that it's like an inside place that people go to, they have heating in the winter and they have cooling in the summer. So it's looking to be a real interesting summer. Maybe it might turn out similar to that movie American Blackout, or maybe worse. All right, but we got to watch and see. So it says data from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics show Miami households spent 38% more energy in April than a year ago. Power prices in the state have jumped due to the rising cost of nat gas. It says our continued over reliance on gas. And remember, you see how they keep trying to push talking about this green energy? This is foreshadowing that they're trying to highlight the negatives in the regular fossil fuels and yada yada yada, meaning that at some point they have it in their minds that they want to cause a breakdown that'll force people through their suffering to accept that transition and to do it quicker. It says here only sets us up for these burdensome and unnecessary rate increases. See? This business model is unsustainable and it's hurting people, said Natalia Brown of Catalyst Miami, a nonprofit consumer advocacy group. Besides Miami, parts of Hawaii, Dallas, Minneapolis, Boston, Philadelphia, New York, and San Francisco recorded the highest increases in retail electricity costs last month. And now we're getting into summer, so just imagine that. All right, because even in the last month, you had, like, especially around the nighttime, it gets cooler. But in the summertime, ain't no mercy day or night. It says here, year over year change in April by a metropolitan area, and you can see the increases. Okay, so everybody's place is going up, but the most you see here is Miami. A lot of people like to go to Miami and party and have fun. The Lord is about to shut all that down. All right, with true hardships. Barclays analyst Srinjoy Banerjee said the average residential power bills averaged $122 in April. He pointed out that power bills could rise another $49 due to nat gas prices soaring over $8 per million British thermal units. Now he's about to mention here, why this is going to be so bad, because if this was an isolated problem, then it might not affect you so badly. But this is an additional problem on top of other things you got to worry about. All right, that's what makes even the tiniest changes hurt, because they're coming at a time where you can't afford to have those or to deal with it. But remember, the goal is you ain't gonna you ain't gonna own shit and you're gonna smile about it. All right. So it says, so what are they doing? They're trying to strip you of everything you own. Consumers can't escape the inflation storm that only suggests a summer of hell is ahead. Gasoline and diesel prices are at a record. Food prices are screaming higher. Homes and cars are unaffordable, and real wage growth is negative. It says Banerjee said the inflation burden disproportionately falls on lower income groups. And that's why do you think that is? Because very soon there ain't gonna be no middle class. We keep telling you that. You're just going to have rich and poor. It says in California, higher costs of electricity and less reliable electric grids mean consumers will pay on average 25% more this summer if they can afford to pay that. That is, according to Cisco DeVries, chief executive officer of Ohm Connect Inc., which helps households save money by remotely adjusting thermostats. The cost of everything is rising and has pushed consumers to the brink. So here it is, consumers are at the brink, and now you about to enter hell. Wow, this is going to be interesting. So let's see if amidst all of this, you still have that, that partying spirit out here. And that's the thing. You're going to have that up until it hits these people directly in the face. All right. A lot of you Israelites, a lot of you Jakes, you don't know how to take heed to warning signs. You have to get hit with the actual calamity before you can slow down and start trying to think. And that's not a good trait. Many have maxed out credit cards and drained critical savings to survive this horrible economic backdrop of what appears to be stagflation, which could quickly morph into a Federal Reserve-induced recession due to aggressive interest rate hikes, which I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. Then there's the risk of rolling blackouts across the Great Lakes to the West Coast due to tight power supplies may not be able to satisfy demand amid a mega drought. Some Americans could get a nasty dose of high inflation and power blackouts similar to life in Venezuela. And if you don't know about what happened or what's going on in Venezuela, look it up. All right, and you'll see. Imagine that over here in a country where people are used to having, the power on all the time and just having the luxury of that. Imagine what that's looking to be. So, as always, we're going to watch and see how these things go. But as Yahushua said, watch as well as pray, because that hell is coming, and it might very well be this summer. So let's see. Anyway, with that, Lord willing, you were edified. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rakah Kodash. Until next time, Shalom.